And welcome back, and in this video we're going to discuss the specifics of the post system, and I touched on it briefly in my impressions video. But in this video we're going to go a little bit more detailed into the new changes that they made into the contest system for the post, and whether this makes the post game a little bit more viable in NBA 2K25. We're also going to go through what worked for me in the demo version of NBA 2K25 and see what was kept from NBA 2K24. And for the most part, if you use the post game in 2K24, it's basically the same. So hold L2 to enter the post, flick the left stick in different directions to do your different pivots, your right stick really controls your jab steps and your spin exits. And basically what you could do in 2K24, you could easily replicate that in 2K25. And while I praised the fluidity of NBA 2K25 as a whole, specifically the dribble engine, new pro play integration, your go-to shots and shot cancelling, unfortunately those changes do not apply to the post game. It stays mostly intact and feels mostly the same. And in keeping with the spirit of if it ain't broke, don't fix it, contact is a huge advantage, and you would be best served to use contact in combination with a lot of your post moves, as I do right here, as I get that nice bump interaction. Comboing it with a hook shot made it easier. See here, another post dig into a post dunk, and as usual, one of the best moves out of the post continues to be the post fadeaway, because it's one of the best moves to create distance. So for those who are asking if the mid-range is back, if the post bag is back, it definitely is. And with the changes made to the contest system, I think this is going to be a little bit better than NBA 2K24. So while I initially thought that pro play would be expanded in a big way in the post, I was mistaken. I thought Joel Embiid had a new pro play fadeaway, but it turns out it's just a generic jumper that was basically attached to him. I did, however, see a few hints of some new animations and some new post entries. So for example, right here, out of a post pivot, it looks like there's a new drive into spin animation, but I'm not quite sure yet, so we'll have to wait for the full retail build to check this out. What did change in NBA 2K25 seems to be a less restrictive contest system. As you can see right here, I'm shooting a hook with Domas to my right. Dillon Brooks was trapped to my left, but it still registered a red contest. This is supposed to be addressed in NBA 2K25, where the contest logic for post fades and post hooks were changed. The logic should result in more viable post moves. So I tried that out in this clip right here. A lot of these clips are in Hall of Fame and in Superstar. As you can see, even though Jimmy Butler gets his hand up, it turns out he contests a little bit too late, and that results in an easily green contest. More importantly, height, interior, and perimeter defense will matter even more. So here, even though cosmetically CP3 and Devin Vassell were right there, Jokic was able to finish. Take a look at this clip right here where I use the same move against SGA in NBA 2K24 versus Jalen Williams in NBA 2K25. Two different results. That is a good contest based on NBA 2K24's criteria. But in NBA 2K25, it seems that it's a little bit more viable thanks to changes to the way contests are handled and how mismatches are made more advantageous. Again, this is an early test, and I'll need to test this a lot more with more time once I get my hands on the full game, but early footage looks encouraging in terms of trying to be more diverse in the post. Here's another example. If you remember the first clip, which was in NBA 2K24, I tried to replicate that here in 25 with Domas versus Dillon Brooks. Again, contest was to my right, I shot with my left, and that gave me an excellent release and a very makeable shot. So compare that here with NBA 2K24. Again, hook to my right, contest to my left, but it was a heavily contested shot. And if this is actually effective in NBA 2K25, I think it could bring life to the post game. Even though the mechanics, animations, and a lot of these systems are still in place for the post game, if those two changes are in fact effective, it could make the post game a little bit more diverse and a little bit more enjoyable to use. In NBA 2K24, you were basically stuck doing a few things in the post, which has been a problem for a few years. So basically, you just try to do a drop step or just keep going into your post fades, or maybe just go to the Joel Embiid hook shot. So these are the things a lot of people just do. However, there are still a few legacy issues that remain because most of the post system stayed intact. Footwork is still a problem. For up and under specifically, I keep experiencing, maybe I experienced 4 or 5 times different ball pickups that weren't called as traveling violations, and we know that this could lead to some cheesy tactics, so I hope that this is looked at and tuned in the final retail build. So if you're like me and you've been waiting for a long time for changes to the post system, which is fairly serviceable, but I've always thought it was a little bit rigid and a little bit stiff compared to what you could do in the perimeter, that trend continues in NBA 2K25. The systems, the mechanics are mostly the same, but if they do execute the ability to hit more difficult post shots based on the new contest logic, then I'd settle for that win for 2K25. You know, it's an annual game cycle, and trying to take on too many changes to big systems, I imagine, could be pretty difficult. So this could be a small step towards improving the post game even more. In terms of fluidity and responsiveness, it basically maintains NBA 2K24's feel overall. So if you like the post game in 24, you'll feel right at home here. Again, post fades are still really good. Post hop jumpers, still love them if you equip the best ones. And based on a small sample of post possessions, I've seen under the right situation, you can now finish through contests and through contact if you created an advantage for yourself. So there are some improvements. How good they are, we'll have to wait for the final build to see. But if this is the win for 2K25, then I guess so, and we'll just have to wait and see whether this continues to be improved in future years. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Are you a post player, and are you fine with basically keeping the same system for the post mechanics as in previous years? Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.